Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Yo, it's Tavon Greatness Patterson. Want to listen to Hot 702.5 on the go? Download the Hot 702.5 app on the Apple Store or Google Play Store if you got an Android like me.
Let's get it.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Cheryl Underwood, and you're tuned into the hottest news station on the planet, Hot 702.5.
This is Hot 702.5.
Come talk shit and politics with Kristie J from the Chisholm Report every Saturday at 10 a.m. on hot7025fm.com.
Tune in now on hot7025fm.com.
Yeah, election time's coming. Who you gonna vote for? Yeah, if I was president, I get elected on Friday, assassinated on Saturday, buried on Sunday, they go back to work on Monday. If I was president, if I was president, if I was president, yeah. Instead of spending billions on the war, I can use that money so I can feed the poor. Cause I know some so poor. When it rains, that's when they shower. Scream and fight the power. That's when the vulture devours. If I was president, I get elected on Friday, assassinated on Saturday, buried on Sunday, they go back to work on Monday. If I was president, if I was president, if I was president, yeah. I know some soldiers that sleep but they can't dream. Wake up with screams, sounds of M16. So take this medal of honor for your bravery. I wish you the best, kid. You and your family. If I was president, I get elected on Friday, assassinated on Saturday, buried on Sunday, they go back to work on Monday. If I was president, if I was president, if I was president. But the radio won't play this. They call it rebel music. How can you refuse it? Children of Moses, tell the children the truth, the truth. It's not all that bling that's diamond. Tell them the truth, the truth. Most of y'all wear cubic zirconium. Tell them the truth, yeah. Your soul is worth more than diamonds.
If I was president, all blacks, I had reparation, no segregation, feed the nation so there's no famine. Muslims, Jews, Christians, with all whole hands every week on the beach. Party by the sand, word up, take trips on Air Force One. Don't need to bring the homeless with no sneaks to Air Force One. Better schools in the hood, better teachers for the classes, making money, paying no tax. Find the best scientists, tell them come up with an answer. I want the cure for AIDS and cancer, but I gotta watch my back. Snipers on the hill with the steel, waiting to J.F.
I was president, I get elected on Friday, assassinated on Saturday, buried on Sunday, they go back to work on Monday. If I was president, if I was president, I feel the rain coming, let me play my guitar for them right now.
Let's go.
Refugees, yeah.
Good morning. You are in with Kristie J, and this is the Chisholm Report. Thank you guys for coming in and spending this time with me so we can talk this shit in politics. Just to let you guys know, it is April the 29th, and we are going to get into it. I first want to just say, I know that there's a lot of Mother's Day events and stuff like that. Go ahead and drop those in the comments. Okay. I know that there's a lot of Juneteenth events and stuff like that coming up. I would love to be able to endorse it. Go ahead and drop those comments. If you have a small business and you're looking to be able to get some additional exposure and a lot of eyes to your business and logo, you can be able to advertise with hot702.5fm.com. We are here to be able to make sure that we are being seen and we are being utilized for the people. So give us a call. I am Kristie J, and I am the director of advertising and marketing here in Las Vegas, Nevada at the radio station. And you can get in contact with me if you're looking to get more and more out of your business and logo. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and go into some local news. And when I go into the local news, I'm first going to say I have talked about this subject a few times. We've actually had Pat Spearman on the show when she was running for North Las Vegas mayor. We talked about this subject then. A few weeks ago, we talked about this subject, and this is the Windsor Park area in North Las Vegas, Nevada that have sinking homes, okay? With this being said, I want you to kind of pay attention to a couple of things that they're saying in this clip, and then we'll come back and talk about it. Let's go.
In a historic North Las Vegas neighborhood may be getting help relocating. The reason? Their homes are sinking. Thank you for joining us on Channel 13 Live at 6 tonight. I'm Trish Keene.
And I'm Joe Moeller. State Senator Dina Neal is co-sponsoring a bill to provide people who live in the community with relocating with a program. Anchor Abel Garcia spent the day in the Windsor Park neighborhood.
And he joins us now in studio. And Abel, what does this really mean for the residents there?
Trisha and Joe, I got to meet Edward McCall. He's lived in the historically black neighborhood since 1966. As you can see in this video right behind me, he let me inside of his home to see the crack and damages that are going on inside of his place. He says they need help immediately. Now, in order to help residents like Edward, Nevada Senator Dina Neal is proposing the Windsor Park Environmental Justice Act. She says it would help residents in the Windsor Park neighborhood to be relocated to a different area. Senator Neal says back in the mid-1960s, a historic black neighborhood of roughly 230 homes was built during a time of unofficial segregation in Las Vegas by a private developer. She says the developer did not conduct a thorough investigation of the land, and in 1989, a study discovered the neighborhood was built over geological faults and an aquifer. And now, 57 years later, the land continues to sink. State and city leaders in North Las Vegas have been using federal dollars to provide assistance to residents and help them relocate. Edward McCall is still living in his home and says for years he has had to deal with the damages.
Roof sinks down in the middle. The whole house sinks in the middle. That's why I'll tell you, I went in under and jacked it back up into place.
Now, if passed, the Windsor Park Environmental Justice Act would allow residents who moved in prior to the findings of the geological inspection in 1989 to exchange their damaged homes for a new home built near the same neighborhood. Residents who moved into Windsor Park after the discovery and are paying a mortgage will receive help from the Federal Housing Division to pay off their loan. Now, tomorrow at 1 p.m., a hearing is set to take place on the bill. Channel 13 will be there and have an update for you, including reaction from the city of North Las Vegas and state leaders about their efforts to provide relief to the residents of Windsor Park. Trisha and Joe, I'll send it back to you.
Here's one thing you need to do before.
Okay, thank you. So with that, okay, They decided that the city would give them $20 million to be able to relocate these people, and that the state would give them $10 million. $10 million. Okay. This argument has been going on for 35 years. Like they said, Miss Dina Neal, she is, first of all, she's dynamic. If you don't know who Miss Dina Neal is, please look her up and see all the work she has done for Las Vegas, Nevada, and for the United States Senate, period. Look at her work, okay? It's not often you can tell people that, like, you're like, oh, you know this person? Yeah, I know this person from this person and this person. I know her from her work, okay? And that's important, especially when you're looking for a mentor of a black woman who is on top of her shit. There you go. Okay, Miss Dina Neal. So the property, when they put the property in, because this is what the argument I have with this, is that they're pushing the people that's out of these homes. Okay, they're not saying, hey, we're going to take that $30 million that they're going to put into it and rebuild that location, making sure that it doesn't have the sinkholes or the area is like that. But what's killing me is in those same areas where they're saying that these houses are sinking, they're putting in brand new businesses, brand new warehouses. If you see them all the way down Cheyenne, all the way, and then you're starting to see them pop up on the MLK area, that whole entire area. This is the area between MLK and Cary is where it's sinking at right now. And that's where Cary Arms was. That's where, if you go a little bit further down the street, like that's where the Gerson neighborhood was, that they tore down and then rebuilt houses on top of them. So it bothers me, and I want to have a deeper conversation in regards to this. It bothers me that if they can go ahead and put brand new houses on top of them, why are they not offering these people some type of deal or some type of settlement to get their area back? To be able, they may not have their home. They may have to get a new home. But why are you trying to relocate these people to put in large businesses? And that's the issue I have with it. So just to let you guys know on that, we want to make sure that we are being transparent and learning more about this situation, because this is going to keep happening on the West Side, because they're trying to tear down the West Side and rebuild it. But are they rebuilding it for us, or are they rebuilding it to kick us out? So that's the biggest issue I have with that. Second thing, here locally, if you guys remember all of the years that we start going into the summer, and then the grasshoppers pop up. Okay, the bodies and stuff crushing under your feet. They everywhere. They're anywhere that there's a light near a door. So like if you're trying to go into a casino or a gas station or something like that, they are infested. Okay, and they are everywhere. Well, they say get ready for a big infestation for this coming into this summer from June to October. Let's go ahead and go into the clip.
All right, so remember when these were just everywhere, swarming the street lights? You saw her reaction there, crunching your feet, even on some pizza.
Yeah, so we're talking about those grasshoppers, and as one expert tells 8 News Now reporter Brian Will, we all might want to get ready for another infestation.
Most common species we have here is called the pallid-winged grasshopper, and it's a real desert grasshopper.
Things are starting to get buggy in the valley thanks to perfect weather conditions.
You've got the wet weather for them, you've got the cooler temperatures, and then when it gets hot like it has recently, then they just fire up and they're everywhere.
Professor Alan Gibbs here at UNLV says while those grasshoppers may be pesky, they are completely harmless. And he doesn't see conditions brewing that led to that grasshopper invasion here in Las Vegas a few years ago.
Bro. Those things happen occasionally, but I'm really not expecting anything like that. But probably more than, but it'll be an above average grasshopper year would be my prediction.
Grasshoppers only live for a few weeks, but once it gets really hot, you won't see many of them.
They're just like us. They don't want to be out there in the heat. They don't feed on the heat. But since we've had such a cool spring, they're going to be around for quite some time.
Start seeing them now. When it gets really hot, they kind of disappear. You don't see much out on really, really hot days. Cicadas are out on really hot days.
You can expect to see grasshoppers peak from early June until about October, and they're attracted to light, which makes the brightest city on Earth the perfect spot. Reporting in Las Vegas, Brian Will, 8 News Now.
Okay, so they basically said that there's going to be a bad infestation. They come in when it's cooler, and then they'll start to dry out once it gets hotter. But if you see this 90-something degrees, and they haven't even started yet, so their cooler is about 105 degrees. So that's the whole damn summer, okay? They said it won't be worse than 2019. Okay, I mean, it's the worst thing in the world for me. I remember I was sitting outside at my cousin's house, okay, and they had high walls and everything. We didn't even see a grasshopper. I'm sitting there and one jumped in my drink while I was in my hand. Oh my God, I lost it. Juice and stuff went everywhere. I'm not even allowed to go back to my cousin's house no more because I cut up so bad. It's disgusting. If you're not a bug person, this would be a great time for you and your family to take some family vacations or keep your ass in the house, because you have those and you have the dang water bugs, okay? And if you have grass, this is what I hate about grass here in Las Vegas. If you have grass, you're going to get them big, humongous, beetle-looking water bugs coming out of the grass, okay? It is gross. You pull into your driveway and all you hear is smush, smush. It's disgusting. So I'm not a bug person. I cannot handle bugs, okay? So if you guys can go back and look at any clip about what it looks like when these things hit Vegas, so you can have a better understanding if this is your first summer, go ahead and check that out so you are not stunned, okay? And move out of Vegas without giving us a chance, all right? So just to let you guys know about that. Also, last night, okay, over the Las Vegas Strip, the skyline actually had a hovering strange light, okay, and it was outside for a very long time. This was just, and this was Thursday night. They still don't have a statement telling us what exactly it is. Of course, they're always speculation, but it was so close to the airport, so close to the Strip. They said it was bigger than the helicopters, but yeah, I can't. Y'all go ahead. We got a clip for you. Let's go ahead and look into that. Cause okay, so the people that are reporting this, and this is coming from all different parts of the city, but where it was totally clear was Hacienda and Hacienda in like the Jones area. Let's go ahead and go into the clip.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Is it a UFO? We can't figure it out. A viewer reaching out saw these large bright lights in the skies over the Strip in downtown. He says they're bigger than the helicopters we see circling many, many times. And we just heard back from Nellis. They not involved in this. So if you think you know what these are, or you've seen these, you can reach out, let us know right on our website, anewsnow.com. Top story there.
All right. Okay. I don't know what to tell y'all, but this keeps happening. Okay, so if they start coming in, like, I think they go come in peace. I don't think they coming out here. And if they do come out here, they don't want us, okay? They don't want the regular people. They want somebody they can get, some type of clout on. I'm nobody. Aliens, okay? So don't come pick me up. I'm not going to be able to help your cause or nothing, okay? I'm going to get in line and make sure I'm okay. But this is crazy. We keep seeing this happening, and this is not the first time this year. We have actually had, they said, 16 unidentified objects in the air, and we have not been able to account for them or know what the hell they were. Y'all stay safe. Going towards national news, Harry Belafonte, which it would be equivalent to what's the dude with the blue eyes? Somebody fine today. Who fine today? Michael Bublé. Bublé. He would be that of the old times. Okay. He passed away. I do want to say that Eartha Kitt said that he was a man that didn't want to date black women, but he was in the struggle. You guys let me know if you think that you can not want to date black women and still be in the struggle. Put that in the comments. But who did get a whole bunch of praise and rest in peace was Jerry Springer from the black community. The black community went nuts to be able to post all type of Jerry Springer things that they remember. Even though the civil rights leader and actor and one of the first black men ever to get a Oscar and the rest of that stuff, he died the day before. But Jerry Springer, who was a host of a show that only promoted what you would say today would be reality TV of baby daddies and trailer park trash and people fighting and sexual partners and all the additional things that was happening in the world here in the country, and he got praised for that. Okay, so I will say that Jerry Springer probably was one of the first reality shows that you can say brought on trash. But he was political and he was a judge, and he actually had a lot of political ties and some good background. So it is rest in peace to Harry Belafonte and rest in peace to Jerry Springer, who passed away in the last 2 days. Okay, nationally. Just a few hours ago, 5 people were killed, including a baby, a young child, in Southeast Texas shooting. We do have a clip on that, and with the clip, I want to tell y'all that what are we going to keep doing? This is just regular news to us now. We don't even get sad about it. In Texas, this is repeated with you in Florida. Let's go ahead and go into the clip.
Marcus, thank you. We are following some breaking news out of Texas this morning where 5 people have been killed in a shooting at a home in the city of Cleveland. This is Texas. It's an hour away from Houston. Authorities say they got a 911 call at harassment just after 11:30 last night. And when they got there, they found the 5 dead. They range in age from 8 to 40. All of them are from Honduras. We're told a total of 10 people were at the home, but we don't know the conditions of the other 5 victims. And authorities say the accused shooter is armed with an AR-15 style rifle and is intoxicated. He has not been caught at this hour. We continue to follow the breaking news out of Texas. Of course, we'll let you know more as soon as we know more.
Okay, so this is devastating to keep going through this, and for people to think that that's okay to harass people because you don't like something that they're doing or whatever. If they partying in the middle of the night or whatever the case may be, it does not give you the right to pull out a gun and go either to try to intimidate them to stop doing what you want them to do or to kill them. Who raised you? I mean, like, why are we keep dealing with this? Like, we just had the little boy that knocked on the wrong door going to go get his brothers, and the man shoots and kills him. The man's grandson says he's a racist ass man. He's a racist ass man. So he knew what he was doing, and he knew he could probably get away with it if he just said, "Oh, I just didn't know. I didn't know, and I thought I was going to be attacked." He's at your door. He's not even beating on your door. He knocked on your door to get his brothers and sisters. So what are we doing here? And we have 3 other incidents this week of people either being at the wrong door or trying to catch an Uber and people shooting them. Like, I don't know what to say about it. I just know that be careful with your interactions with people. And I'm basically talking to myself because I am a road rager, okay? If you get into it with me on the street, I'm going to hurt your feelings. My whole purpose is to, okay? And I'm working on me. But the point is, I have to stop sometimes and realize, like, it's not worth it. And then they're not going in my direction. Then I don't have to keep arguing with them. Flick them off. Tell them to, okay? And then go about your day, okay? But when you start chasing people and trying to jump in front of them, slam on your brakes and, you know what I'm saying, things like that, throwing stuff at people's cars, I don't do those things anymore. I'm just saying, stop doing that, okay? Stop doing that. Stop having road rage. Stop getting into it with your neighbors because they outside partying. It was 11 o'clock. They still had a whole nother hour to do so. Mind your business, okay? The House has passed a bill to be able to raise the debt by $1.5 trillion, okay, higher. Now, I get people talking about, oh, they did this. Well, they did it 3 times during Trump's administration. They did it during Obama's administration. They did it during Reagan's administration. They did it during both Bush. Okay, this is something that is normal that they're supposed to do. They need to pay their bills, though, Okay, we have a clip in regards, so we'll come back and talk about it.
This morning, we are working to make sense of the fight in Washington over the debt limit and the vote that passed the House last night that would raise the debt limit and then cut federal spending. So what does this actually mean? What is the debt ceiling and how does this impact you? Our Kaylee O'Kelly took those questions to Arizona lawmakers.
The Limit, Save, Grow Act, led by Republicans, aims to raise the nation's debt limit by $1.5 trillion through May of next year. The bill, as it's written now, would limit federal spending by canceling the Student Debt Relief Plan, requiring more low-income Americans to work in order to get things like food stamps and Medicaid, and reclaim unspent COVID relief funds. I just talked with Congressman Greg Stanton about his vote.
Are there any aspects of this thing in its current state that you can support?
A portion of what they want to do is to increase the debt limit for 1 year. I think we should do that. We might want to do it for a longer period of time so we don't have this brinksmanship policy every few years. But what I won't support is cutting those services to our veterans. What I won't support is cutting support for public education.
The bill would also repeal key parts of President Biden's Inflation Reduction Act.
There's certainly a lot of this funding coming to Arizona and to the Southwest. It's how we're doing the airport work. It's how we're improving ports. Even if you live in a landlocked state, you're benefiting from this port work because of what it means for our supply chains, and it's helping us keep shipping costs under our control. Let's do it that way instead of these radical and extreme proposals that would threaten to wreck the entire U.S. economy with a default.
On Wednesday, a Republican holdout voicing his own opposition to the bill, Arizona Congressman Andy Biggs.
Saw your tweet earlier. Still leaning
no.
What would get you to yes at this point?
Yeah, I think we might have gone beyond the place where we could actually effectuate that.
Okay, so this is what I want to say. Okay, yes, we should not be in debt. Now let's talk about real shit, okay? If you did not buy your house outright, you have a debt. If you did not buy your car outright, you have a debt. If your child is going to school and you didn't pay out in cash for all 4 years, you have a debt. These are regular household bills that have to be paid. Think about it in government. The Defense Department has to be paid. The welfare department has to be paid. Transportation and infrastructure has to be paid. The energy has to be paid. These are bills. Okay. Now let's talk about this. Okay. If we do not raise the debt limit at this moment, okay, that means that there are different structures in this government and this country that can fail. That will spark us going into depression, and then we have to fight our way out of that. Okay, if we raise the debt like we've done several times in the history of government, period, to be able to make sure that everything is paid and we are not in debt with other countries, we will need to raise this debt. Now, the Republicans, and I'm not a Republican or a Democrat, I'm telling you what is fact. The Republicans are arguing the fact that they don't want to raise it, which I understand, but it will make a spiral into a depression. The Democrats want to raise it, okay, but the Republicans have a point on it being frivolous spending. Now, the frivolous spending would not be them giving the money to the veterans, them not giving the money to welfare, them not putting any additional money to make sure that inflation and stuff like that goes down. That would be a waste of this bill. Okay, that will be a waste of them adding this debt to us. Okay, now large corporations that have failed and now all of a sudden need a bailout, you should not be eligible for this money. Large corporations where we have seen that you have used fraud to be able to pay people in the corporations, you should not be, you should be excluded. Okay. States that do not support these acts should not, if you say you don't support it, then you should not benefit from it either. Florida, Texas. Okay. you shouldn't benefit from this. If you're talking about, well, I'm going against this, because what happens is y'all know that they are going to vote it in. You vote against it so you can look good for your people, and then you benefit from the fact that they're using the money. So I think that if you vote against it, you should not have it. You should stand on your word, stand on it, and say, I said we don't need it, so let me show you that we don't need it. Not benefit from the money that's coming in. So that pulls me into saying, you got that representation is important once again, because this would be us giving them the list of stuff that we need from the grocery store. Them telling them, hey, we need more jobs. We need more money in the jobs. We need more housing. We need more affordable housing. We need more childcare, which they just passed that, to be able to give additional money and funds to families for childcare, because it is just as much as paying rent or just as much as paying a college tuition. These are the things that, if these were important to you, then these would be what they push the money towards. But if you're not voting, you're not telling them what you want. Okay, so you know how you try to order from Walmart and you get your pack back and they don't have none of the brands that you said that you wanted. All the stuff that you clicked on is just a random brand that they done gave you. I'm like, I don't even like this brand. Now you feel like you got to go back to the store, exchange it, go in when you didn't want to go in the first place. This is what's happening. So let's do it first. Let's do it now at this point. Be able to give them the grocery list or the laundry list of things that we need so they can be able to get them fixed for us. And so we can't say, well, they didn't know. They can't tell us they didn't know if we tell them. Okay. So that brings me to this. So you guys know that Biden has decided that he's going to run again. Just to let you know, only 6 people. I mean, it's not 6 people. 6%. 6% of the nation, okay, wants Trump and Biden to head off and match up again. Okay. Both of y'all go sit down. Damn. Like y'all have really made this into a circus, and all it is a popularity contest at this point. If they end up voting Trump in, is because they wanted to put the first felon into the White House. It is not to be able to help anything, because he's not helping anything. When you're focusing on stuff that doesn't, the reason why we are so behind on getting shit done is because this fool wanted to sit up and talk about him losing this election for over 2 years. Okay? This is not going to help us. It's not going to help us with Biden either, because he's sleepy. He really is to the point where he's almost lethargic. Okay, so we really need to put in a point that he's not a good fit anyway. But you know what? This will be great for one of these black Republicans to come on in and swoop up everybody on the Republican side and be able to get them to vote for them, because the Republicans do not want Trump. 70% of Republicans do not want Trump to run again. 60% do not want Biden. Oh, sorry, I have that backwards. 70% don't want of the Democrats do not want Biden to run again. 60% of the Republicans do not want Trump to run. Michelle, where are you at? Because this is where I think this comes in. And I wouldn't want to inherit this country after all the shit that happened. I'll wait another 4 years. I understand this. I would say that too. I wouldn't want to come in after that. You're like, no, they ain't messed the country up for the last 8 years. I'm not about to deal with this shit. No. But who is going to step into this? We're going to end up and mark my words, we're about to get our first white evangelical gay president. Okay. Watch what happens. Watch what happens. Okay, that's my own interpretation. Let's revisit this on April the 29th, when the election is completed and someone has won. Let me know if I won. I bet everybody on here $1. Everybody, send me my $1 Cash App. Okay, so I got a clip in regards to the matchup. Let's go ahead and start talking about that, because no one wants, okay, you know how the Super Bowl had 2 losers, people that really you don't want nobody, like, I don't care who win because both of the teams suck, neither one of them are my team. This is what this is. Let's go ahead and go to the clip.
Chuck Todd is NBC's political director and moderator of Meet the Press. Chuck, good morning. It's good to see you. So I know you all are going to roll out a new NBC News poll on Meet the Press this morning about this question of a potential rematch between President Biden, who we expect to announce that he is going to run for re-election in a few days, and also former President Trump. How is the country feeling about that idea?
I'll put it this way, Willie. There are only 6% of Americans that would like to see both Trump and Biden run.
Wow.
6%. The point is this, they want to see them both run. There's large majorities that don't want either gentleman to run. There's a majority of Democrats who don't want to see Biden run again. It's not because of his policies. It's simply because of questions about his physical ability to do it and his current age. But the thing that's, I think, most striking in our poll is how much Republicans are rallying around Donald Trump. When you look at this poll, on one hand, if you're Ron DeSantis, you can say, well, hey, so I'm trailing by double digits. Barack Obama trailed Hillary Clinton by double digits the entire calendar year of 2007, right? And then he didn't overtake her nationally until he won Iowa. But boy, does it not look like the same type of race when you look at, you have 70% of Republican primary voters tell us basically that these charges against Donald Trump mean that it's more important to rally around Donald Trump, rather than giving them a choice that says, you know, he was a good president, but these could be distractions in defeating Joe Biden. Only 1 in 4 Republican primary voters believe that. This right now, it looks like both parties are about to nominate 2 people that the country doesn't want to have. And there are going to be unintended consequences to that, Willie, whether it's people not showing up, whether it's the third party flirtations, whatever it is. You know, politics abhors vacuums, and the 2 of them be careening towards this rematch, it's going to create a vacuum.
We're hurtling toward a rematch that nobody seems to want. Well, 6% do, I guess. Wow. Chuck, thanks so much. We'll have much more of that poll and a lot more ahead on Meet the Press when Chuck.
Okay. So, yeah. Okay. And nobody wants y'all. All right. Go sit down and find somebody else to endorse. You're wasting our time and you're wasting the damn money. It's a waste. It's a waste because people who don't know any better are going to think that they just won't waste their time going to vote. And then at this point, we have these 2 old ass men who don't. Y'all can say what y'all want to about Biden, but his history tells me a lot. I've never been a Biden person. Biden's not my boy, okay? I can't stand some of the things that he did, and then for us to try to say, okay, well, you know what, we're going to overlook those things because they don't overlook the shit for us, okay? Trump, too. He done hella stuff, and just because he said a statement about black people building this country on their back, fool, we know this. This is not new, and you're not getting kudo points for saying that. It sucks that you are the 2 dry-ass people that we got to pick from, and nobody wants you, okay? This would be the best time for somebody else to come in and say, I'm running for president. I do not want DeSantis from Florida. Sit your ass down. You are, you too much, okay? And I'm telling you that sometimes I agree with some of your stuff, and sometimes I most definitely don't. Most of the time I don't, because you are just out of there. Race theory, you don't want to teach that. But you want guns. You guys get shot up every week, and then all of a sudden in the same thing you gonna say that you want to cancel Black Greeks, but you don't want to cancel guns in your area. Nobody said to give up the guns of the people that are righteous. Okay, we said the crazy people that's running around that y'all know are crazy, that y'all checking their Facebook for months on end of them saying they gonna kill everybody at the dang post office, and then y'all turn around and act like, well, we didn't know, we didn't want to infringe on his First Amendment. Get the hell out of here. Get out of here. Okay. Along with saying that and being censored, let's talk about the fact that Tucker Carlson and Don Lemon have been fired. Okay, they said Tucker Carlson left Fox News on his own, but I don't think so. I think that it had a lot to do with the suing and civil suits that they had going on, and they are letting out billions of dollars that they are now releasing because they helped to push this theory, and a lot of people went to prison and got records and died behind these statements. And let's just be real about what this is, okay? Like, if I ran into a building and yelled, fire, and people start running, and people are trampled, and people are breaking things and breaking through windows and everything else because of the statement that I made, I am liable. So, Fox News, you are liable, and your hosts are liable. Now, the Don Lemon situation, Don Lemon was there for 15 years. I thought Don Lemon was going to leave years ago, at least 2 years ago when he started his podcast, and then when, what's the other dude, when Como Law left, you know what I mean? So, Don, it's a blessing in disguise. Now you don't have to censor yourself in the way to be able to talk. I know that there's plenty of networks that will pick you up. Rick Ross, sit down. Nobody wants to work at your wing stop. Okay, find somebody else. He fine. Okay, he okay, but he does not want to be a lemon pepper shaker at Wingstop. Okay, it was too early. The joke was too fast. You should apologize for it, okay? Because this man already going through it. If I lost my job that day, I'm probably distracted, probably crying at home, eating ice cream, cussing out everybody. So I would feel the same way, and I just feel like it was insensitive for you to do so. Rick, call in 702-551-5261. So I can just give you a little bit of etiquette on how not to be able to hurt people's feelings when they already don't kick nobody while they're down. Okay. Now, if you looking for a general manager of all of your stores here, or for the nation, or you looking for an advertising director, Kristie Jackson is my name, and I do have a wonderful resume. Now, that would be a come up for me, but not for Don Lemon. Okay, you know what I'm saying? There's a difference. Okay, call me. Resume is on LinkedIn. Okay. Anyway, okay, so I just wanted to be able to relate to that and also say that Tucker Carlson, you deserve it. You an asshole. And the thing is, you sat there and you pushed this theory and then to find out statements later, and this is really why you got fired, because you didn't really like Donald Trump and you was just talking that shit. You was just trying to get more ratings. It'd been different if you actually believed in what you were saying, but while you're saying it, you're also saying other shit. Okay, all of the anchors at Fox News talked about don't get this this vaccine and everything else. Every last one of them, and every person in that building had to get the vaccine to go in the building. So why would you push it? And why would you push not getting it? And then you don't get it. Okay, now I didn't get it, and I didn't get it, and I'm not pushing it. Okay, sometimes it is a bought situation, and you were bought. Okay, if you did not like Donald Trump and you were still pushing his narrative, you were bought. So get the hell on. Have a good day. Call in, Tucker, 702-551-5261. Let's go into this. So the U.S. is suing Tennessee over banning the care for transgender youth. Let's go ahead and go to that clip.
Hotly debated bills passed this legislative session. The bill banning minors from transgender medical care will now have to go up against the Department of Justice.
Brianna Hamblin is live in Nashville for us. So what is the DOJ saying about?
Well, Ben and Amy, they're calling it unconstitutional, and they're asking the court to issue an immediate order to stop the law from going into effect July 1st. The complaint alleges the bill violates the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause by denying transgender youth access to same or similar procedures that non-transgender minors can still have. So the DOJ is calling it discrimination. The department is joining the lawsuit. The ACLU and Lambda Legal announced last week to block this bill. Republicans have been saying the bill is about protecting children, but LGBTQ advocates say it's more dangerous for those struggling with gender dysphoria not to get the care.
I actually had a conversation with a DOJ member today who affirmed and wanted the trans community to know that they are fully on our side and this is a top priority for them because they see that this is such a horrible piece of discriminatory legislation that violates a basic human right, that they see it as an absolute violation of justice for these children.
Okay, so this is the problem I have with this. When does transgender become more important than gun laws, national debt, women's medical? Okay. I'm not saying that it's not important to people. It is most definitely important factor. It does not affect every American. Okay? And we put so much fire and fear into this and miss out on the fact of you should not be telling nobody which pair of panties they should be putting on. It don't have nothing to do with you. That's where people lose it. Okay? Why do you think that you should be able to tell a woman what to do with her body? Okay? To tell a man what he should be able to put on. Okay? Tell a child you have to be able to listen to this this transgender agenda. This is different for me. Okay? Because you have to wait until you are at least 16 years old, permission, and have instruction, like a certificate saying that you have so you can get a driver's license. Okay? For a tattoo, you got to be 18 years old with your parents' permission. Now, this is a tattoo, but you saying that we should go ahead and allow children to be able to add hormones to their body, be able to mutilate their bodies and things like that before they even get their mindset correctly. This is not right. This is not right. This is a time for a child to be able, if you are pushing that narrative, okay, because children are impressionable, okay, if you are pushing the narrative of a certain agenda, then this hurts our children because then they are not even able to just digest what they're supposed to do on a regular basis. I want to be on the basketball team. Not I want to do drag queen stuff. Like that's just adding stuff to it. So I wanted to be able to add in shots out to Riza Islam. Shots out to Flame Monroe for having a conversation without biases. There was they sat down for about an hour and a half and talked about the transgender community. They talked about the gay and lesbian community. They talked about the black community. They talked about black leaders. They talked about children. They talked about everything in this podcast. And I normally don't just push other people's podcasts. I'm pushing this. Go listen to this. If you are a person who thinks that you have questions in regards to the transgender community, then you would love to listen to this and to be able to give some questions. Let's go ahead and go into this quick clip.
But I'm very happy right now. I'm very happy because during this entire circumstance that we're looking at in the world, there are not enough voice of truth in these heavily politicized arenas. So one of these circumstances happens to be the gender circumstance and LGBT issues and all these other different topics just affecting humanity. So I said, I don't know who else to bring on really other than this individual here, who is one of the most unique, dynamic, stands on truth regardless to whom or what, and is just unapologetic about speaking the truth. So without further ado, Flame Monroe.
Hey. Hello, mister. How are you? Ooh.
I'm good. Come on, y'all. Clap.
Audience.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, I'm just honored to have you here.
I appreciate you having me here. I think that the optics of this will speak volumes, and hopefully we will reach and help a whole lot of other people who don't understand.
Absolutely.
Because I don't think it's fear. I think it's misunderstanding.
Okay, so the link is in the bio for that interview. I'm telling you, it was a dynamic interview. They talked about real issues. They talked about children and drag queens. They talked about everything. Give a listen. You guys, I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming in, spending this Saturday at 10 a.m. with me while we talk this shit in politics. If you see somebody out there grinding, let them know you see them shining. This is Kristie J, and this is the Chisholm Report. I'll see you next week.
On Sunday, they go back to work on Monday. If I was president,